And we are live here. Hello and welcome, dear friends of the human family all across the world, all around the globe, or what is it? One dimension, I would say, the dimension of the earth plane that we exist on. And I wanted to take the time, just dropped into my mind. I should do a live stream once again, keep you updated. It's sort of like a little bit like a diary right now, as we're in the very exciting situation of being travelers, not with you don't know what's going to happen next. So that's how the source can work through us very effectively. And after I've uploaded the update I did for Gareth Ike on Iconic, meaning that was like 10 days ago that was aired, and titling it as I did, namely, "We are in charge of Austria now." And that's a big thing to say, isn't it? And I mean that fully. This is absolutely 100% of what I mean. And you know why? Because as I just wrote in the Telegram channel previewing this live stream, is if you do not take over, you are part of the problem. The truth is simple, and the truth is, finding out about the truth is a process. And the more you let that light, that signal sink into you, the more powerful you become, and the more you get integrated into the new paradigm and the new earth and how it is going to look like. And it will look like absolutely nothing we've ever seen before in our lives. Okay, that's why it's called a paradigm shift, and you transfer from the old paradigm to the new paradigm, because it's nothing we could have ever seen. And it's not QAnon doing this for you, or anyone doing this for you, or Steve doing this for you, or Errol. No, what we're doing is we're leading and living by example. This is the only thing that we're doing. That's why there's no manipulation going on here. Okay, we're not pretenders. We don't pretend to be anything. Okay, that's the only thing we're doing, is we initiate action. We do what we are being guided to do by the one and only highest expression of the source that creates evolution and worlds of expressions throughout the multiverses, the incredible dynamic that's at play, the full scope of life that is not even comprehensible with our contextual, conceptual mind. It can't grasp it, how big creation is, because we've been in this tunnel vision all our life, that we've got presidents, prime ministers, the Pope, the Vatican, and all this religion going on, and realizing that there's not only the Christian religion or the Muslim religion or the religion of Judaism, but that the entire world is a religion. Everything we're doing, everything you do more than once, is ritual. And we're phasing out of that religion, that mind control prison world, and we're decoding a new signal. Okay? And one of the main tools, one of the basic foundational things that we use, okay, the compound that we use, that is medicine. That is realizing that when you see the world is fucked up, the problem is here, okay, right here, staring you in the mirror. But you don't have to become a victim about it and think, oh my God, I'm the problem. I'm the cause for all suffering. No, I know everyone is trying to be nice, to be a good human being, okay? However, we have to acknowledge that we are part of the problem that created this world that we've experienced, and that has turned into complete total fascism in very short time. And one of the main foundational things that we use for our own healing, okay, is to recognize that we need to heal. And when we heal, when we do our internal shadow work, then we are in a position of power. We become empowered and we can empower the world. That's how it goes. It goes from the inside out. That's the real process that's going on. And what helps us doing that is what we do here is true shamanic work. This is what we want to bring to the world also. And the incredible power that is and lies with plant medicine like ayahuasca, like the European Middle Eastern version that we're using here right now, Hamala and Mimosa. There is no limits, okay? There is no limits when you take this medicine into you of what you can do. This is what I've learned, especially the last 3 ceremonies that we did. And what ayahuasca does, same as all plant medicine. That's why be aware always with who you do plant medicine work, like for example, magic mushrooms also, because when you are here in this world to shine your light, to make a difference and to create the new world together, be aware that the demons will be attracted to you and they will test you. This is what has happened along my journey. I've done mushrooms and other ceremonies where the people suddenly turned out to be evil. Okay? So coming back to the theme, that's just as a side note, okay? So always the setting has to be right. And what ayahuasca does, it makes you have dangerous ideas. That's what it does. It removes that's why in ceremony, okay, it is important to have an intention. Knowing that reality is the experience of your intention. You create that feedback loop of reality, okay? You as a creative being, you create that feedback loop. And we need to take full responsibility for it to change that feedback loop to something that we want to invent. So intention is incredibly important, like we did the intention of that all evil has to leave this planet now. That's a grand intention, yes. You can do anything with ayahuasca. The only thing that you need to keep and be aware of is, can you hold the energy? In other words, can you hold the charge that comes with the intention that you're setting? And this is why I say we're in charge right now here in Austria. What I would give you a little bit of a hint is, look at the things that trigger people the most in the matrix. Okay, what triggers the matrix program the most? Whereas Mark Passio would say, how can I it doesn't come to my mind right now and I just dropped that point. What I mean is, what can we focus on? What is an expression, a question, or a claim that triggers most people? Even in the alternative community of people that want freedom, that say they want freedom. What is the one thing that really triggers everyone is when you say, those politicians have no power. The Pope has no power. Okay, I've never met them. I've never done contract dealings with them. I'm operating completely in the private as an individual. And I understand and understand and overstand that there is a collective program going on. Okay? What is the matrix? It's the collective. The collective unconscious, the dream world, the normal, the new normal. That is the matrix. It's a collectivist program. And when you are having individual thoughts, okay, and ideas where you think for yourself, you become a stranger and the crazy one and the weird one in the group think, in the group mind. That is the way out of the prison. Becoming the individual and acting from the individual. So what triggers people most? I am in charge. I'm above the politicians. I am above the Pope. Because it looks like they can't face me. Of course not. So I can make any claim. I can make any claim I can. And then with that claim, the feedback loop of reality, the source that we are and express is always listening and is saying, now they get it, what real awakening is really all about. If you do not take over your country and tell all of them that they are privately liable for crimes against humanity and now you are in charge, you are part of the problem. And I'm not going to just do this and just, think I'm Jesus and I'm just going to walk right in and tell all of them, no, you work for me and you do this and you do that and I'm in charge and this. No, 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 no. When the Matrix is a theater play where everyone's playing their role as prime ministers or policemen or military or whatever, or judges and lawyers and all that, the Queen of England, when they're playing a role and it's playful, well, you make it playful too, and also structured and organized. The law is king is one of the t-shirts that I like to wear from the great man that is Mark Passio, from who I learned what true natural law is all about, and the power of the natural order and the knowledge about the natural order, how things really work, that there is only a hierarchy if you impose that hierarchy on yourself and you agree with it. Otherwise, there is no hierarchy and there is only you, the sovereign, taking full responsibility for your actions. So do it in a playful way, but realize that the law is king. And the law, natural law, that is the solution to all of the problems that we have in the world. Okay, that is when we go from the symptom level to the causal level, where we become causes instead of effects. This is what we're here to do. This is the awakening. You become causes instead of effects. You play the game instead of being played by the game. And you set the rules as you understand them and understand them. You set the law. So, yes, we are in charge. Me and Errol knows exactly what I'm talking about, even though he's not a part of this live stream. But we'll be talking more about this because this is key in really integrating that knowledge. And they hate me for sharing this with you. Who are they? The network. They're even here on this live stream. Okay? You cut ties with them and just say, I don't want anything to do with you guys because I've not seen you for a year, for example. And they get all, oh, why are you so bad to me? There's a network. There's a satanic network, a dark occult black magician network. Okay? And we're exposing all of you guys. Are you listening, mate? You're done. Your time is over. your freak show is over. And you working from the background, putting spells on other people, manipulating them, well, it's not working on this one, is it? And once the light shines in, you're done. We have to be in charge. We have to take charge of our countries. This is what we'll go all across the world, to all the corners of the world. Everywhere we're going to be, me and Errol, and all of the people here on this planet that stand for freedom will go everywhere and teach this knowledge. You're in charge, no one else. When you integrate the natural principles of this natural order in your being, and you live according to the moral code, you see, you don't have to think complex and be, oh, what an intelligent guy. He knows so much about complexity and he can remember all these names. Well, maybe it's all bullshit knowledge that leads you nowhere. Maybe the most important knowledge is the most simple knowledge. Like a little child when it's 3 or 4 years old and it says, I'm the king. Yes, exactly. You are the king. You are the queen. And now we teach you about natural order, because that's when the true kings and queens rise of this planet. True humanity. We've been put down for far too long, and now we rise like lions. And they couldn't do nothing about it. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go all across the world, challenging everyone who's still sitting on some sort of a power trip, thinking they're somewhere on this illusory hierarchical pyramid, calling themselves president, thinking they're in charge just because they have this title. And then we tell them, well, the game is over, Mr. President. It was monopoly, and the monopoly game rulers printed the money that they wanted to control the earth. As the quote goes by Mr. Rothschild, I don't care which puppet is placed on the throne of England, because I control the British money supply, and the ones who control the British money supply controls England and the British Empire, on which the sun never sets. But that only works in your restricted, little, pathetic little board game of Monopoly. And what happens when you get checkmated on that game? What happens when your idiot monetary principles turn out to be illusory and are checkmated by the principles of the natural order that run on moral code? And suddenly you, Mr. Rothschild, have lost immunity and you are staring down the barrel of prison, or, as I would like to go even deeper in punishment with you, you're going to have to clean the freaking toilets, Mr. Rothschild. Yes, that's hell for them. And I'm going to be visiting you. I'm going to be visiting you, cleaning the toilets. No tribunals, okay? I'm in charge here, so I'm going to say what my idea is, okay? Let me tell you that human beings are not good at sacrificing. Tribunals and New Nuremberg what? Exactly. What do you want? We won't sacrifice anyone. No, you're going to stay here, Mr. Politician, and speak exactly what has happened to you. Tell us about how the mafia works. And please, give us credit for telling you exactly beforehand how it works, calling us conspiracy theorists when we know the modus operandi of the mafia. That's why we are in charge. And that little monopoly board is checkmated because I realized, okay, in my diligent study, not of complexity, but let me go back to the simple knowledge Oh, you control the money supply, but you do not control the law. You do not control what is right and wrong. That's why they wanted to set up a virtual reality little game, their own little universe in the smartphone. Okay, in your smartphone, the internet, the metaverse of Facebook. This is where they wanted to upload their consciousness onto and become gods in the smartphone world. Because you see what this implies? All the sucking birds, okay? And all the other suckers. They want to be gods in a world that they created, the digital world. Why did they create the metaverse, the equivalents of a matrix? Because they can't rule this plane. They can only do it with mind control. But when the spell is broken, the people wake up and they realize, ooh, we're in charge. We're in charge. And then it's game freaking over for these vampires. Okay, and this is exactly the knowledge that I share here. And I'll be speaking of the rooftops. Exactly on this knowledge. And I just got to this and wanting to talk about the outrageous claim that we're in charge in Austria here now, because I was observing some videos today of the demonstrations, the continuous demonstrations that are going on in Austria here. And there was something going on in Vienna today, and I saw some people that I know also, that I really respect, and I was observing them, the protesters, and the police on the other side. And the protesters calling names to the police and you're driving our country into absurdity and we don't want this anymore. When are you going to wake up? And it's all the Matrix game. It's all puppets being played by the involutionary force, which, if it continues like this, what you're actually looking at is the same mindset on both sides. Yes, the police behave immorally in comparison to the protesters who have more moral values, but not fully. We have to go beyond that paradigm. It's divide and conquer. Do you see that? Again, it's like left and right. So now you've got protesters and the police. And the protesters trying to wake up the police because they think the police needs to wake up so they can then arrest and do this and that, when no, it works different. So what the knowledge that I try to share is to change your perception of these two sides. In politics, it was left and right. Now it is the demonstrators and the police. Move above that and have your vision aligned with the ego vision. And what is truly going to change the entire dynamic in all this is when you stop feeding the beast. When you stop to think that you need to wake the police up now or anyone. Go beyond that of complaining. Don't do the complain game, but go into the claim game. This is what I'm going to do next. Okay, so energetically, with the huge story that we shared with you in the last video that we did, me and Errol together, in the 2 hours that we talked about what happened in Saint Corona, of all places, in the Corona crisis. The Corona crisis will be solved in Saint Corona, is what we say. So on an energetic level, on a metaphysical level, in between the worlds, okay, everything's cleared. We checkmated the entire satanic pedophile network that's organized in a hierarchy of demons, where you don't meet the Pope or the Cardinal or anyone else on the Truman Show movie of the Matrix. that is being played on the Monopoly board. That's a distraction from what happens in the background. And in the background, in St. Corona, by the church there, is where the high priest of Satanism in Austria lives. And we nuked the place with ayahuasca medicine together with Datura. We nuked the place. Real weapons of mass destruction. And energetically, we took charge of their pyramid, because the light occult takes over from the dark occult, because the dark occult only exists as supposed rulers of the game for as long as they can hide the knowledge that makes them stay in power. They've only been in power, okay, these satanic priest class has only been in power because they hide certain type of information. And I can tell you what that information is, because I have access to the highest level of information of what they don't want you to know. And it's simple knowledge. It's the knowledge about natural law, which is the difference between right and wrong. To know that what is right is what doesn't cause harm to other sentient beings. When you cause harm, you are privately liable in your private capacity. Okay? As well as the knowledge about plant medicine and ayahuasca. And when you work with intention, and you intentionally use this plant medicine, like we did, that all evil has to leave this planet now, and you take ayahuasca, she works with you to take them down, because ayahuasca is like an antivirus system that gets rid of an entire dystopian reality. When you can decode that, when you can have that imagination in your mind, you can do it. Whatever you can imagine, you can create. And we created that. We created that in our imagination, because when you think big. Not your little, as I keep saying, not your little community, that's not enough. No, also not your country, it's not enough. No, the whole planet, the whole solar system, everything. You are everything. And that's the only truth. That's what we take back. And ayahuasca, through our intention, continues to work as an antivirus system that flushes out the criminals, because we said so, and it works in our favor because we are in alignment with the natural order that works on morality. And it does exactly what we want it to do, because it wants it to happen, and we are but the conduit for it to happen. We're the ones in charge. That claim stands as long as no one puts a claim against this. This is how it works. It's the only way we're going to get out of this. This is the true corona that I'm showing you here, with the picture being the corona. Isn't that what all of this is about? Yeah, you bet it is. That's the corona energy. Remember who you are. Remember you didn't come here to do all this bullshit. Remember that it's all a lie. As I said in the interview with Gareth Icke, the food shortages, the this shortages. What is that? Shortages. That is scarcity-based mind control. That is the game of the dark occultists. Shachmat. It's all a lie. You didn't come here to do any of this bullshit, did you? Or did you? Could be different. I see it like that. I see it like this, that we came here to be the children of the earth. the newborns into the new world, who ended the world crisis, because that crisis was going on long before Corona. We just hadn't observed it correctly before. Well, I cried for years, many, many tears about Palestine, about Syria, okay, about what is happening to my human family, because I have a heart, because I really have a heart, and I was blessed to be in the country of Austria, where things are kind of okay. Yes, you have all the mind control, but at least people can go to schools and live a life of some value. But then I looked to Syria, and all my brothers and sisters don't have that, and I had to find an answer for that, and that's why I drank deep of the drink of wisdom. Deep, drink deep, and it's that heart that has made all the difference. Because I knew when the time comes, I'm gonna fuck them all up. What they're doing to our human family, and what they've been doing, and what they had planned to do with us. I knew there would be an intervention, but I didn't know that I was here to experience that I was the intervention, and that you are here to experience that you are the intervention. Any action that it takes to protect the children is an action worthwhile. That's why we're in charge, because we let our emotions flow, because we're empathic with sentient beings, and we don't accept immoral behavior. And we tell people on a power trip, just because it has always been this way, we'll tell them right in their faces, Mr. President, you have a human name that you're registered in under this system. This system is an insurance system. You are not insured for crimes against humanity, and therefore you're privately liable in excess of 369 trillion euros. And this is code wording for it's over, and you move out now. We are in charge, and that is the truth. Thank you for listening. Till next time, take very good care. Bye bye.